Alright, hello everybody. So, on today's blog, I wrote a little story about waking up in the morning and making a cup of coffee. And I told you what I made and what I added to it, and just that it was delicious. I went out onto my porch today and I sat there and I had said in my blog post that, it would have been nice to have a blanket out there. And so that inspired me to come into Blender and create exactly that, a blanket for my coffee sipping animation. So I made a very simple little animation for sipping coffee. So let me go ahead and hit play and you can see how it works. And starting here at 1, she just takes a sip, takes the cup down nice and easy, and it's just a very relaxed little slow motion. I've got quite a bit of space between the last 2 frames, which gives it that resting motion. Otherwise, you would just have the cup going up and down, up and down, up and down. Okay, so along with this, I made a blanket. The blanket is made to fit 4 different sizes. This one, if you hit the N key, you have the properties panel and you can see that it is a default size. If I go to layer number 12, you'll see that this is the extra small. The next layer has medium, and the last layer here has a large blanket. All of these are adjusted a little bit to fit the different size avatar. I did bring in all the different shapes and change it so that I could make it fit. You'll notice maybe that, the blanket fits right up to her tummy here, but for the large avatar, I pulled that out because it's a little more pronounced. I've had to pick up the area around the leg here for the other sizes as well, from the default to the extra small and such. So the blanket is not a real big difference for all the different sizes, but it's just basically tweaked a little bit for the different sizes. If you have the blanket selected and you go into edit mode with everything selected here, you'll see that it has been unwrapped, and so this just takes a full texture. So that's what this Blender file has in it. Let me show you how to get all of these to your desktop and then upload it into SL the way you would anything else. For here, the UV layout, you're going to come into where it says UVs and click on that. And the very top choice is UV Export Layout. We'll click that, and you'll see here that in my folder I've got my Sip and Snuggle PNG, and I renamed it to Sip and Snuggle UV Layout, and then just click Export UV Layout. That one's done. Now we can, let me go ahead and do that again because I dragged it open. Next, you can take this blanket or any of the blankets that you want here in these layers. Take any size that you want or all of them, one at a time. Click on it, go to File, and Export Collada Default DAE. Not the Avstar, just the regular one. And then you can save it and rename it to Default Medium Large Extra Small, whichever one you decide to export. The important thing to remember when you export is make sure that you have selection only on. Otherwise, you're going to export everything, and you don't want to do that. Selection only, so have only the blanket you want to select or export selected and this check marked. Go ahead and click on Export Collada, and now the blankets are done. For the animation, you're going to come into the Properties window, and the camera icon is our render settings. Scroll all the way down to the Export Animation section here. The mode should be anim, not BVH. You want anim. Frames per second is at 10. The starting frame and the ending frame are where my animation starts at 1 and ends at 150. So you see those numbers in there. Priority I set to 4. If you have an AO on, the priority is probably a 3. So 4 is going to allow you to use this animation without turning off your AO. Okay? The next thing that we have is loop animation. This is a loop. It plays over and over and over again. So you want to make sure you have that check marked on. You can also rename it here if you want to. It's important also to have your loop set in and out at your first and last frame. You can see start is 1, end is 150. Again, that's what animation frame I'm starting with and ending with. When you get all of that done, you click on Export Animation. You can name it here, but it will be named what you named it in that panel on the side. And then you click Export Animation. So now you can just go to SL. You can pick yourself up a coffee cup. You can drop the animation in there as an animation attachment. It just comes with a little, you need to use a little script for that. I'm actually going to do a tutorial soon on animated attachments, but you'll have the animation in World you can use, and you have the blanket here. And so you can snuggle up and drink your coffee too. And so have fun with it.